In today's unboxing, we take a look at the White Gigalion. It is the first in a series of new expansions for Kingdom Death Monster for the Vignette of Death series. Let's take a look.
There are hobbyists among us, geniuses with the ability to play any game they want to. In 1978, a corporation known as The Interior isolated a young hobbyist named John and exploited his genius for their entertainment.
Then one day, their hobbyist ran away. Once upon a time, there was a place of carved faces. A man with a lantern lay sleeping, a dreamless sleep. The man knew nothing. One day, the man woke up. He rubbed the dried ink caked over his eyes and opened them. Around him, he saw other people stirring, and beyond, a horizon of unbroken darkness. A woman approached the man with the lantern. Her soft hand reached out to him. They had no words. They were a mystery to each other. Suddenly, a monster emerged from the darkness, its eyes wild with hunger. It attacked. The people were no match for the monster. It tore their flesh and crushed their bones with its teeth. Some it devoured whole. Overcome with terror and grief, the man with the lantern collapsed to the ground. Cold stone noses pushed into his side. There was no escape. But the man did not want to die. Desperately grasping at the stone faces, he felt a crack and tore at it with all his might. A piece of stone came free. It was sharp and deadly. The man with the lantern scrambled to his feet, his weapon clenched in his fist. He took a deep breath and roared into the dark. Somewhere in the place of stone faces, nameless men and women stand together. They have nothing but the need to survive and a lantern to light their struggle.
Here we have the White Gigalion. It is the first in a new series called the Vignette of Death for Kingdom Death Monster. Let's go ahead. There, same thing on the back. Flip it over. Brief little bit of lore and, of course, the box contents. Vignette of Death, White Gigalion. Vignette of Deaths are brief ordeals set in Kingdom Death Monster. This vignette is designed for a single play session and uses components for your core game. After the tale is told, its memory can change current and future campaigns. Well, I personally love the sound of that and the whole idea of this being a little one spin-off, but then being able to continue to change and evolve your game as it continues down the line. I especially like the idea of this one being that it's for your core game, so it's probably going to be one of the easier sets, especially for new players to add into the game going on. Well, let's go ahead and crack it open and take a look inside. There we go. And up first we have the sprue, and they are in a nice Ziploc bag. It looks like there are 2 sprue in there, and then some bases. So that is cool. That means with this, not only are we getting the White Gigalion, but we will be getting armor stuff as well. I like that. We'll go ahead and take a look at that here in a second. Then we have its instruction or its book. Looks like a new location. Its cards. Its gear. Now, I personally hate these really tight cellophane wrapped cards. These are impossible to get open. God, I hate that. And this right here is something else that I found interesting, because again, it talked about how this being one-off scenario, so they give you cards, and that might be what those guys are. They're not for armor, but they're the guys that you're playing in this one-off scenario. So if you're, especially if you're having like a hard time, you know, building up, making your guys super strong with lots of stuff, pop this guy out and all of a sudden you can play a nice little scenario with fully equipped guys and go in at it. That is cool. So they kind of have pre-set in gear sheets for those people. We'll take a look at that here in a minute. Well, up first we have the bases, and like most of Kingdom Death Monster, which I am sure you have seen plenty of times, the bases come in two parts. Your sized base tells you what size it is with the I love HOTS and the little logo there on the back, and then its insert. These ones are just the nice flat ones. I personally like the skull ones better, but that is okay. It comes with 4 of those, and then of course the base, and it is a 100mm base, and that is for the actual Gigalion. So let's go ahead and take these off to the side. Next up we have the Sprue. Now this is one of those things that might be a little nitpicky, might be a little, but something I find a little disconcerting. They usually do such a great job with these little feet parts right here and having these little arms go up. So when you go to put up your Sprue, or store them if you're not ready to build it right away or whatever it is, for you to then be able to stack these nicely so they stack up and don't rub against each other. And these ones look like they were designed just off. The tabs are not tall enough. Yeah, they're not tall enough either way. And that is one of the things that I really liked about the base game, how it did that. And so it's a little, disconcerting to see that they had kind of lost that here within this set. Well, let's go ahead and take our first look at the Gigalion. And then, of course, he has even more hands, because part of that White Lion story was he was really fond of the human hands and kind of evolved himself to have similar hands. And then, of course, the little rock that he is sitting on. And there's his face. Oh, look at all that. This turned you. Oh, wow. Look at all that wonderful detail. That is awesome. And then the other side of the rock. And then this Sprue with the rest of his base, and then all of those people. Love that axe. That is cool. A nice little whip going on there. You can see a little bit of hand, so that's where the handle is. Looks like some ornament type stuff maybe. Then the shield. That is one beat up shield. Now I'm hoping as they continue with this line, some of these monsters are more difficult than others, so I'm hoping you're also going to get some really cool character builds for, say, like the Screaming Antelope or the Phoenix, assuming they do another Phoenix one. That is really cool. And here we have our default character gear sheets. I have decided to split this unboxing up into 2 different sections, where I have all of this, which is pretty much spoiler free, which I have already shown you, and I am getting ready to go into all of the rest of the material. So if you want to say spoiler free, this is where you would want to stop. And if so, I hope this unboxing has helped you to decide if this expansion for Kingdom Death Monster is right for you. However, if you do want to see the rest of the box, here it comes. Here we have the instruction book from the game, and just on, from the camera here, I can even see the little pop marks from the Sprue kind of digging into it a little bit. It would be nice if they would just put like a sheet of paper or something, like Games Workshop has started to do, where they put a little piece of artwork between the components and the sprue. I would love to see them start doing that, because you can definitely see where it starts to dig in. But of course, if it's going to dig into anywhere, I'd much rather have it be done here into the rule book. A little introduction for the Vignette of Death, and all the components and the new strain system. Very cool. Next we have the location extension. Now this was going to be interesting to see how this works in the game. If this covers the White Lion's location, or how that works, or if it's like an add-on, so if it goes kind of on the bottom of it, or if it covers it. It'll be interesting to see, to dive into the rules and actually see how this plays out, how this changes up that little area. Up next we have the gear cards. Now this is actually the same item, just kind of reversed print. Well, I like that. I mean, if you're getting me two of the same items, different artwork, I like that. There we go. And then finally, our cards. There's that one. And then the white Gigalion card. His basic action. And let's pull out his strange resources. 2 hooked claw. And then to add in, because these would get added to your White Lion cards. So looks like we have 1 new hit location card. There is that. And then Vignette Survivor. That's interesting. It'll be interesting again to dive into the rules and see exactly what these are. They don't have that same Vignette Survivor. There's probably, oh, there we go. That's what those are. They are the stat sheets. That makes sense for those characters. And then finally, his AI cards. And if you notice, it is just the White Lion. It even says White Lion, Gigaclaw, and Vicious. Now when it comes to storing everything until I am ready to put all the models together and actually get this to the table, what I have decided I am going to do is, instead of putting my sprue back in this Ziploc bag that it came in, I am actually going to use this to try and protect and keep together all of the components. So that goes in first. Next will come up my flat sprue, followed by the slightly thicker one, and all of the bases. Well, that is everything for the Vignette of Death, the White Gigalion. I hope this unboxing has helped you to determine if this is something you would be interested in. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later.